yung link, bakit mo kailangan palitan yung link? So that's why the next objective is to maintain yung route. Characteristics of a router operates at three layers. So physical, data link, and yung network layer ni OSI model. Why also the data link? Kasi some routers do have switching capabilities as well. Pwede yung maglagay ng VLANs doon. Okay. Making forwarding decision based on network layer addresses. So ano ba yung network layer addresses? Yun yung mga IP addresses natin. Okay. Providing various types of interface. Although this is not just limited sa routers kasi switches also have different types of interfaces. Supporting rich link layer protocols. So dun sa link layer protocols is the layer 2. So ano po ba yung mga supported ni routers? Kasi dito sa materials, if you can see, meron tayong serial pa, may HDLC pa. We still have yung T1 E1 lines, and we also have yung mga RJ45 as well as yung mga fiber optic interfaces. Supporting rich routing protocols, of course, yun ang trabaho niya, to support routing protocols. Ano po ba yung routing protocols? Can you give me an example of a routing protocol? Doon muna tayo.
CIGRP.
So that's proprietary. OSPF,
OSPF.
BGP,
BGP.
static. Tandaan nyo, static routing is still a routing protocol. That's the basic way of you do yung routing. Okay. So segments. So ang trabaho naman ni switch is to divide yung mga into separate collision domains. So what do you mean by collision domain? Since dati meron pa tayo network hubs. So sa hub kasi, if you have a single hub, isang collision domain lang siya. Okay. Now what happens dun sa hub naman? So ano ba nangyayari sa hub? Siyempre, hindi seamless yung forwarding kasi nga iisa lang yung collision domain mo. So, what do you mean by collision domain? Pag nagkaroon ng collision dyan, magkakaroon ng back-off yung ibang devices. So, sasabihin niya, sino yung priority? You can just forward one by one. Unlike sa switches, lahat ng ports yan pwedeng sabay-sabay mag-forward. Transparent high-speed Ethernet frame switching. So, high-speed Ethernet switching. So, switching in the and automatic MAC address learning and maintenance. So ito po actually yung pinaka-trabaho ng switch is to maintain MAC address and learn and maintain yung MAC address. What do we mean by learning and maintaining MAC address? Probably we have one of the topics later to discuss. Switches, physical and data link layers. Of course, we have what we call yung L3 switches that can also operate as a L3. So transparently bridging Ethernet network. So more of bridging yung trabaho niya. Okay. Switching Ethernet frames between ports based on MAC addresses. So, generally, ang trabaho ni switch is to forward yung layer 2 traffic. Okay. Ito po ba yung development trend sa routers and switches? As I mentioned, may L3 switches tayo and we also have routers that has switching capabilities. So, unification of routing and switching capabilities. And of course, unification of services. Hindi mo na kailangan, so dati kailangan mo na isang switch, isang router just to do separate capabilities. On smaller networks, probably you might need just a router or just a switch, depending sa requirement. So we have yung CR series router, telco grade. SR series, ito po yung sa mga high-end na enterprise, large enterprises. MSR series, and wala nang ER series as far as I know. So, you have MSR series router, entry level up to actually even yung mga head office na routers. So MSR 3640, if you can see, meron siyang you have yung console port. Meron din siyang mga interface modules, slot cards, etc. etc. So basically, ito po yung makikita natin sa router. At least for this router. Because some routers are smaller, some routers are bigger depending on the form factor. Portfolio naman ni H3C, so we don't care about the EPON and the EPC and gateway since this is currently available on the China market. So we have switches for data centers and we have switches for campus naman. So depende na lang rin po yung sa requirement. So if you want yung switches to be For example, data center grade, yun na mention kahapon, ROCE. So that's the time you use data center grade switches. But apart from that, actually kaya na ni campus. Okay. Switch, so you have a front panel, usually nandito yung mga ports sa front panel, and you have yung uplink ports, and you have yung rear panel, minsan nandito yung console, sometimes nasa harap. So you just have to check the switch, really depend on the model. This is already an old model, so meron siyang 40 gig na, no? Then may 10G uplink siya. Okay. Sa rear panel, you can see may modular fans and modular PSUs. So yun po yung meron tayo dun sa rear panel. System namin, this is what we call yung H3C Comware. Okay. So ano po Comware? This is our core network operating system for H3C products. Encoding the hardware driver and underlying operating system to maintain yung communication between the layers. So rich function modules siya, including link layer, protocols, Ethernet switching, IP routing, and forwarding, also security. And may offering a set of software and hardware interface standards, including an open platform for third-party interface vendors. So ano pa po ba yung iba pang ibang capabilities ni Comware? Actually, hindi lang po ito yung operating system namin for the network, for switches and routers. It is also our operating system for our wireless, our firewalls. So lahat ng networking ni H3C runs on Comware. So depende na lang po sa variant ni Comware. So we already support dual stack IPv4 and IPv6. So dual stack. So if you want to run dual stack sabay, simultaneously IPv4 and IPv6, you can actually run using the Comware platform. So it also does support multi-core. So the Comware OS is already multi-threaded. What do you mean by multi-threaded? Kasi for some operating systems, those operating systems sometimes single thread lang siya. So if you have a single CPU, isa lang yung CPU mo, but if you have a single CPU but you want to use multiple cores, you can't use those multiple cores anymore because it's a single thread application. So with that, multi-threaded naman po si Comware. Okay? Unified routing and switching. So apart from that, as I mentioned, single operating system for everything network. It's not just routing, switching, even the wireless and the security capabilities is unified with the Comware system already. Okay. High availability and resilience. So for our switches, if you've already heard, we have what we call our intelligent resiliency framework. So IRF is basically the same with stacking. So we do have high availability, and of course for our chassis based, meron dual MPU. So it has dual management planes. So if you have dual management planes, if one management plane fails, then the other one will kick in. Last but not the least, good scalability and customizability, because as it mentions, you can actually configure our routers. You can configure, so based on your requirement, you can actually have some sort of advanced configuration as well.